My life has been changed. My life has been changed. Changed so much that I came home and had to teach yesterday and incorporated it into my teaching. That's how impacted I was.
You got touched that way.
Man, my very soul. You hear me? My very soul. Welcome in. It's the Lefty Podcast. I am Shaun Davis at SD2 Mics. And of course, the original Lucky Lefty himself, Malik Zaire at Overtime Malik. We took a day off to handle some business while in LA. The Onora Boys, did some things on rooftop.
That's right.
LA Nights. We got it in. We found out we knew the same people in certain circles. And then we had a special guest join us. Another Notre Dame guy joined us. It was a great time, man. Absolutely.
Max Redfield made an appearance.
Yeah, I've never seen LA like I saw it Friday night.
It was a good time, man.
It's a great time.
It's crazy that the Midwest is real strong out here in LA.
Oh, dude, Chicago was repping all weekend. I didn't realize it was a big festival there. I did know the New Edition and Jodeci were playing at the Forum Saturday night. I knew that. That's why my guy Trey was in town.
Got it.
Him and his wife, they flew in to see the New Edition joint, and then they went down to San Diego. But I did not know there was a hip hop festival in town over the weekend as well. So we went to the third spot, and I ran into some more people from Chicago that I went to college with that were in town working. They work at Labor.
What?
They were in town at the festival. And, the third venue was a real small venue, as you know, we're in there shoulder to shoulder. And, I think some of the little homies had a problem with me at the third spot. Yeah. They had a little problem with me, I had
what happened?
I'm from Chicago, so I don't bang. But anytime I wear a hat, you could probably say it's tilted a little bit to the left, just a little bit. You know what I mean? And that was no different on Friday. So we get to the third spot, and the third spot is probably a little less classier than the first two spots we went to.
Yeah, by a lot, probably. I can imagine.
I'm glad you can confirm that. So it's a different crowd. Much younger crowd. And but shout out to the DJ. Dude was
had the cuts.
He was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Because the set he had, because we were only there for like 45 minutes, but the set he did was, how you sample tracks, for a song. So he would play the sample and play like 30 seconds of the sample and then transition into like the actual song. So he built up the anticipation, because once you heard the sample, I'll give you a perfect example. He played 30 seconds of I Choose You. Everybody knew Outkast and UGK was coming. We knew it. So like 30 seconds, like everybody's like, right. And then he dropped that bass line. Boom, boom, boom. It was a rap. It was like wall to wall, everybody going, reconsider, read some litter. Like everybody just spit every word for like 3 minutes. It was crazy. So, dude, shout out to him. Fantastic job. But yeah, I'm walking through, and you can't walk through because, like I said, it's shoulder to shoulder. So, you have to squeeze through. And, I didn't know what, dude. Shorty was just looking at me like I was short as I'm walking by. And I'm like, so my guy behind me is like, shout out to Tim from Chicago, was like, oh, am I tripping? Was like Shorty measuring you up? And I'm like, man, I don't know Shorty. But I peeped that Shorty tapped his boy and pointed to me. Now his boy had his hat banging to the right. You know what I mean? So at the time, I had no.
This is at this door-now DJ.
Dude, this is like I had no clue what was going on. I just knew he sized me up. I knew it was some energy. So shout out to our mutual friend, Sid Nolan. Shout out to him for hosting us on Friday night. Did an incredible job. We walked back to the other side to find some room on the other side of the bar. And we're standing there and we're chilling. And I'm getting the same energy from across the bar. Now this is across the room. Now you're purposely looking at me across the room, but little does he know that crew that I went to college with is right behind him. Right?
Okay, so you got the crew right behind him. The people
right behind him. And two of the dudes that were from Chicago were squad. These are my boys. These are my boys that played at Illinois, played ball. So I'm like, I'm good. First of all, because I'm not even in that mood. You know, dude, you already know the progression of the night. So you know the mood I was in. Like,
we were great. Yeah, we were
greatest mood like of all time. Like you cannot take. I wasn't like on anything, but I was on a high.
Yeah, we were good.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you're not bringing me down, bro. Like,
nah,
whatever you got going on, exactly. And at that point, I'm like, okay, I'm with my guy over here. My guys are behind you, and the rest of the Chicago crew is like to his right. So I'm like, I'm good. Like whatever goes down, I'm good. And then 10 minutes later, I had to rush Sid up out of there because
he a mess. He was done by the end.
He got a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah, he was tired, man.
He got a little bit too aggressive. And I said, okay, it's time.
It's time to go home, man. Everybody got to go home, bro.
That's why we only spend like 45 minutes in that spot. But shout out to everybody that hosted, man. Shout out to the Dream, the Harriet. Man. Yo, I got to get back out there, bro.
Sooner rather than later.
I got to get back out there. And that was my first opportunity to meet Max Redfield, man. Good dude. Enjoyed his company. We laughed, kicked it. The Onora Boys were definitely in the building out in LA. So we're back today. Got a lot to cover. First two practices are in the books. LL Nation, I'll be in town Thursday night. Get at me. Everybody that wants to meet me at Frankie's.
That's right.
We're going to Frankie's Thursday night.
We're doing a tailgate.
I don't know if our girl D Beezy is in the chat. If she is, if she's not, let her know. I'm in town Thursday night. I'm hitting Frankie up. I'll be there at about 7. At about 7, I'll be at Frankie's. Give me some grub. Make it happen. LL Nation, you want to come out, break bread with your boy? Let's do it. Let's do it. Because I got an early night. Got to get up. Pro day the next morning. And then the open practice on Saturday. I'll be there with Irish Breakdown covering it. And also giving you updates for Lefty Podcast as well. So, Tommy Rees met with
Rees.
He met with the media. And normally, I would have the video clips, but there was a lot of exterior noise. So the sound quality really isn't that good. And it's like if I raise the volume, it just raises the back. I didn't have time to filter out and all that stuff. So
and he's not an exactly loud talker by any means. So I know he was giving the monotone responses.
Oh man, so we'll get to your questions because I see people have questions about Friday, but basically he said, look, he is really happy, especially with the offensive line. He pointed out something that I forgot, bro, because we are over the hill happy about Blake Fisher and Joe Alt at the tackle positions. And he reminded me that Joe Alt played 7 games and Blake Fisher played 1.5. And I was like, yo, you're right. Like total, they've only played 8.5 games of college football. Extremely talented, but a lot of growth for them. But I wouldn't put them in any other hands other than Harry Heastand. Like that's what makes me feel comfortable about their lack of inexperience or their lack of experience.
Yeah, seriously. Like if they didn't have Heastand, the 8 games would be big for me. But having Heastand in 8 games don't matter, man. I mean, 8 games is plenty enough. And they're going to be well equipped going into the game, at least with the confidence and the support that they know they're in the right. They're in the right spot.
Yeah.
They're in the right spot because Heastand's not going to have you not prepared for that week.
So one of the other things he touched on was how happy he was with freshman running back Jadorian Price. He compared him.
You said that, young prophet. You said that.
I said that. I said, watch this kid. He said his demeanor is very similar to Chris Tyree when he came in. He's all about business, and he used the word unflappable when talking about the freshman running back. Now, that's a lot of bodies to climb to get carries. You know what I mean? Like Aldrich Estimate, Logan Diggs, Chris Tyree.
He wasn't even expecting to talk about Price this early.
No.
I didn't even think he was going to be getting that much action just because it was just so deep in the running back room.
And you wouldn't think that the running back position, because I think people disrespect in today's football, the running back position is a tad bit disrespected. And what I mean by that is, people will say, man, it's a position you can just plug a running back in, right? NFL, like you don't have to draft a running back high. You can just draft a running back in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round and put him behind a good offensive line and he can get 1,500 yards. Right. And that's kind of disrespectful, especially when you have a special one. Like Travion Henderson was special. You saw it in high school. He was a special running back for Ohio State as a freshman. He'll decide how good he'll be on the next level. And Jadorian Price was a late bloomer. He's a late bloomer.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
His senior year, he really blew up. His film really blew up. People tried to get on him late, and Notre Dame had pretty much sealed the deal. So when you look at the running back situation, I just don't want people to think you know what? At first, I was like, you know what? We've done a good job recruiting the running back room at Notre Dame. And truly, the elite unit has been the offensive line. But going out and getting a talent like Jadorian Price can't hurt when you include the offensive line.
No. Yeah, I mean, running backs, you can't have enough. I think I can say that for sure. When we had Tarian, Greg Bryant, CJ, Josh Adams, Dex, I mean, that's a lot of names, but we were still able to get all those guys in, and we needed all those guys at the time they were at school. Now, we didn't know when everybody was healthy, but we saw real quick how fast that running back room dwindled by the time we got towards the end of the year. And you're like, damn, we thought we was going to be having too many. Now we don't have enough. Know? So essentially that's what ended up happening with us when we ended up having CJ switch over. I mean, that's us coming off of Cam McDaniel, Theo, Sierra, George Atkins. I mean, we had guys for that whole time. So just to see the transition of it being that, it looks like a lot, but it's really not. Same thing for receivers. We always talked about there's not enough footballs for the receiver room, but middle to the end of the year, you're going to see a lot of guys dropping out. So, it's a lot now for the spring, but by the time we get to fall, you'll start to see it really shaping up the way it's supposed to be.
Man. And I hope it goes that route. Lucky Lefty Podcast. We're discussing Tommy Rees meeting with the media this weekend, his discussions and what he talked about we already covered the fact that he loves where the offensive line is, and especially his young tackles. And now he pointed out how Jadorian Price is really, man, he's catching eyes. And he used the word unflappable, which for me, to hear that from a freshman running back, like I said, I just think the position is super disrespected right about now across football because, and I don't know if people really, I don't know when it changed per se, but I just don't. I think people with the opening of these offenses, they look at these short screen passes as running plays, and I just think they can manufacture the running game via the pass a lot of times.
They've definitely, especially these pass-heavy teams like the Washington States, some of your Big 12 schools like Baylor, they find a way to use those bubble screens, those quick screens outside to really put the pressure on the weakest, what you would assume the weakest part of defense is from a tackling position, and those are your corners and safeties. So with the passing league and how it's became so fast from time of snap to the next play, it's been J-rigged for the football to fly around a lot more. So the running back has almost been blended into just an athlete, a stronger athlete, like a fast tight end almost, because even the running backs are catching the ball at heavier clips than in years before. So with the quarterbacks getting better and better in college, you'll start to see a lot more offenses open up. I mean, some offenses are going to stay traditional, like the Wisconsins of the world.
Yeah.
Your Michigans, there's Armies, you're going to have some traditional college football teams that lean heavy on the run. And you're going to have, there's going to be a place for that. But when you're talking about what we're transitioning to, what I think Tommy wants to do, Jack throwing 60 passes in that game is more on trend to what's going on in college football than what Michigan did to beat Ohio State last year. So I think we have to find the middle between 60 passes at Fiesta Bowl last year and what Michigan did running the ball with. I think our running backs are better than Michigan's running backs from a group-to-group standpoint.
From a talent standpoint,
yeah.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
So if we had to look at a game plan, if you can find somewhere in the middle to get enough effective runs in there like Michigan did last year, but then also be able to put some of those pass plays you saw, some from what we saw Lorenzo and Braden Lindsay on some of the routes he would look good in, putting those pieces together and to come up with a good game plan to help a young quarterback out.
Lefty Podcast. Now we're going to get to the quarterbacks because both of them met with the media as well. Very interesting comments from the People's Champ. Look at me, man. I promise you, I'm not being a hater. I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is the People's Champ talks and sits and puts on the persona of a starting quarterback. All I'm saying. This is the first time he met with the media. It's the spring. I'm just telling you. When you look at him and you look at
like the guy.
Himself,
yeah,
looks like a starting quarterback. Now, that doesn't mean anything because I don't know what he's doing on the field. I'll give you an update after I watch practice on Saturday. And I'll let you know what he's looking like. But I know the vibe I'm getting. He looks like a starter. So
you didn't see the video on Twitter now.
Regardless, I think that's good regardless because that's going to elevate Tyler's game.
Oh, it has to.
It's
if he's a competitor.
Yeah. Like he's not being handed anything. Like you're gonna have to win this thing. So you feel good as a fan base. If Tyler Buchner is named the starter, you feel good because like, yo.
He had a fight on his hands.
He had a fight on his hand. He had to compete. So if they feel comfortable walking into the horseshoe with him, hey, we might have something. So I feel really good about what I heard this weekend. Now, the offense and where it's going. Tommy Rees was asked about that as well. And one of the things he pointed out is that, last year was different because Jack Cohn was really mature. And regardless of what you think about Jack Cohn as a quarterback, he did come in and settle that position and give some leadership to that position because he had been there and done that previously at Wisconsin. Regardless of what you think about him as a quarterback, that's one thing he did do for the quarterback room and the quarterback situation. He was a great bridge, and you were able to still win, 10 games. But the pressure it puts on, or the difference now to call games and game plan and teach, is a little bit different now for Tommy Rees because he has two youngsters. Like, this is the third semester for Tyler Buchner, and Drew Pyne has been there, but he doesn't have a lot of playing experience. So now, how Tommy Rees develops this offense around that is going to be very interesting, especially having two different types of quarterbacks. This is going to be a very important spring to see how this plays out with this offense and these two quarterbacks.
Definitely classic, same old you're going to get from you. If you're serious, and Marcus Freeman has been doing all the right steps up to this point, the smartest thing you can do is establish the identity of the offense by naming a starting quarterback at the end of the spring. That's the only thing that'll make the difference between what this quarterback competition can be and what all the other quarterback competitions were before. The thing that made it the challenging part was that you waited too long. Because you had two different style of quarterbacks. The time you wasted running two different style of offenses through spring camp, through summer camp, through the fall, it's too much. Now you get in the season and it's crunch time, and you got to go to your best plays. You stuck with half and half. You got half stuff that the one guy does well and half with the other. So you never really get a full clip of things when it comes to late game play calls per se. But I do think the spring is going to be competitive, but let's make it easy this year. I think you can tell in enough practices in the spring who's going to be leading the charge going out to at least a fall camp going in Ohio State, just because how much better can you get from spring to summer anyway?
That's an interesting question. I mean, how good can you get from spring to summer? How much better can you get?
For them to be, I feel like Tyler and Drew, from a production standpoint, are about the same right now. I don't see none of those unique qualities from either one.
From a perception standpoint or expectation standpoint?
Well, expectation, they're both the same.
Okay.
But from a talent standpoint, they're not. But neither one of their better attributes overshines the other one. Like Tyler's running probably doesn't overshine Drew's accuracy, for instance. So they're going to give you about the same level of production, which, in my opinion, makes it easier because now it's like no harm, no foul who you go with. If anything, just go with the older guy. If you're looking for that maturity, because if that's the first thing you're noticing about Jack and what was added to the room or what was missing from this year, your best maturity would be the people's champ. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just because there's nothing Tyler can really do, which, that's fine. But then build around that. With a mature guy like that, you have more to the offense you can add and more you can do and feel comfortable with.
Lefty Podcast. So we moved to the quarterbacks, right? They both met the media. And let's start with the people's champ. And had a great comment here by somebody in the chat that I'll use to kind of just shout out Josh Buffo, the motivational business banker. Thank you for tapping in. Drew has been the people's champ since he did the McGregor walk against Wisconsin. LOL, let's go Irish. It was dope when he did the McGregor walk against Wisconsin. Drew Pyne was asked about the wide receivers. You're going to like this. I think LL Nation is going to like this. When he was asked about the progression of the wide receivers and how they're looking, his response was they look great. And the first thing we noticed about the job that Coach Stuckey's doing is that he didn't say anything to them. They all just got in the film room as soon as he got to Notre Dame. That says a lot. Now, that says a lot about what was. It says a lot about where they were when he arrived, but it speaks volumes to the improvement we can possibly see in the fall.
Well, they got off of YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got real film. They didn't get YouTube film. They got real film. So that's a good start.
Like, Notre Dame has their own film of their own games.
Yeah, they actually have a database of actually a lot of different film, NFL film, college film. And we don't have to go to YouTube now, guys. We ain't St. Peter's, you know.
You said we ain't St. Peter's, you stupid. Oh man, Lefty Podcast, but that's good to hear. And Drew Pyne talked about his efforts going outside Notre Dame and putting in the work, even during spring break in the videos. And look, he said he's looking forward to leading this team. That's his goal, to lead this team, win a national championship. I told you, this guy isn't handing over the reins to that quarterback room.
No,
he feels like it's his time.
Yeah. He ain't handing over the reins, just handing the ball off. So
now that's something both of them will be doing a lot of next year. Turn around, hand this ball off.
But I do like his goals, though. He wants to be in control of the team. He ain't saying he out there trying to be the best quarterback in the nation or beat the other guy every day that's competing with him.
Yeah.
He's trying to be what he's good at, which is getting the support of the guys around him.
Yeah. He said his all-season focus was all about his own game. Like just getting better.
It should be.
Also, he was asked about the offensive line. Everybody's excited about this offensive line, bro. And look, let's be real. The excitement, it's only been 2 practices, right? Like, I don't know what you can garner from 2 practices. I'm sure it's not a full go practice. But everybody knows the reason why that building is hyped around the offensive line. Some good players there. There's some talent there. But that dude, H2.
H to the Izzo.
H to the. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The vibe.
As soon as they heard that corner of the practice going crazy, a bunch of yelling and pads clacking and a bunch of cussing and all nonsense, he's like, okay, yeah, we getting better.
What do you think?
As soon as you in practice and you see that herd of Buffalo go back on the field with their helmets on, like we in the middle of practice still. 30 minutes, 40 minutes after practice, you know we getting better. You know,
what do you think H to the would do if they played H to the Izzo when he walked into the practice facility?
He'll probably be cussing over it. You know, he be, you know, he's actually calm, actually during all of this stuff. I just love when it's like we get in the midst of 11 on 11, one-on-one drills, especially if guys aren't used to him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's going in, and you just love what it does for the practice. It raises the energy of the practice. And, you know, he's on 100%. That's the one thing you can count on, is that he's not skipping practices on his energy level or his mood.
Yeah.
No, he's kicking butt from beginning to end, in the meeting room to the field and off the field.
And then last but not least, when he was asked about his goals for this offseason and heading into fall camp, just to get better. Just to get better, run the offense, be efficient. Look, man, this is the checklist for either Notre Dame quarterback as they come to the line of scrimmage. Get the play, call the play, walk to the line of scrimmage, identify the middle linebacker, change the line if it needs to be changed. Heck, you might not need to do that because Jared Patterson, is a 5th-year senior. So you might not need to do that. JP might have that on lock. Identify the Mike linebacker, identify the coverage, call hike, and hand the ball off. That's it. That's it. And third down, look, make the play.
Hit that little out route to Michael Mayer.
Yeah, make the play. And when you get a wide open receiver deep, because we're going to have them. We're going to have them. We had them last year. Hit them in stride. That's it. That's all we're asking.
Hit them early. I wouldn't even say in stride.
Hit them early, man. That's all we're asking. It's real simple. It's real simple. Tyler Buchner. He met with the media. Tyler Buchner was really excited, man. Really excited. Said he learned a lot. He also gave a sneak peek into last year. He said his role was he knew going into the season what his role was going to be. He knew he had really no shot at being the starting quarterback, and he knew that he was going to be a package guy, the change-up, or he said the change-up guy, to change the vibe of the game. He knew that's who he was. Now you're shaking your head already. You're shaking your head already because for you felt like, yo, give him the keys, let him learn. It'll put us in a better position going into next year. But we're here now. We're here. He is who he is. He feels more comfortable his third semester, his second spring. How much can he improve?
I don't think that – I would ask you if I was there. I'm like, do you think that year served you with the role that you had in any way for right now? Probably not, because now you're 50-50 with the guy that was a third stringer last year. So if I had to think if last year really prepared him for this moment, probably not. Probably not. It was more of like a year where you could say you played in the game. No different than a freshman playing special teams when he first gets there. You know, you played.
Man, you liken it to special teams?
From the effect of –
that's a little bit more responsibility than running downfield trying to make a tackle or kickoff, bro.
But from the effect of how is it helping him right now? None of that experience from last year is helping him right now. Right now, if you ask Tommy in a room with the door closed, he's going to say it's a blank slate.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy part about it is because Tyler Buchner is a highly recruited quarterback in the same class as Caleb Williams, went through the same Elite 11 process. They were 1 and 2 the whole time. I can only imagine if Caleb Williams last year was like, yeah, I mean, I knew my role. I was going to be a change up the pace guy.
You have to slow down, man. You know there's some people in LL Nation that feel like Tyler's a better quarterback than Caleb Williams.
I'm just saying. I don't think they would have lost Caleb Williams a lot earlier than what they would have if they would have told him that.
Then Lincoln Riley wouldn't have left. He would have been fired. The way that team was going.
But I'm saying, why is that? But why is that not our expectation? Like, that's what saying that same conversation with quarterbacks that are doing it in college football right now is laughable. You think CJ Stroud, if they had another quarterback in there, they're like, hey, CJ, Justin Fields is here, but you're here to just give us that little splash of whatever you got.
I said, whatever you got.
Whatever you got. Go in there and just do your little dance real quick. Come on, man. Like, that means you're not taking him serious as a recruit. Because what recruit, a top recruit that's supposed to be the face of your program, leading the charge.
Yeah.
You're recruiting the first year to come in and be like, hey, 5-star guy, 4-star guy. You're going to be our little splash on top. I mean, we could have recruited anybody in that case. So I don't know if they're valuing the value of what Tyler Buchner had coming in.
Yeah.
They're just going to use him like as a change of pace guy.
Yeah. See, Donnie Cruz, he said something here. I got Donnie Cruz. Look, he says, thanks for tapping in, Donnie, from up there in the NY. Buchner going to be a beast, but he will have turnovers as a first-year starter in some old games, some good games and some bad games and great games. See that? Give me Drew Pyne. Like, if that's gonna be the case with this defense and this offensive line, the running backs, no, I don't. I don't need no bad. You can have average games. I'll take average games. I don't need bad games.
Because that statement's all over the board. What are we gonna do with?
We'll have a little
some
bit of
good,
this.
some great, some really bad.
I don't need that. No.
We're Notre Dame. Why are we even talking about our quarterbacks like that? Like,
I don't need that.
That's not our expectation. We ain't going. We don't have. Trevor Lawrence wasn't at Clemson talking about. Well, he's going to be up and down and good and bad, and sometimes you get this, sometimes you get. They don't even do that with guys like Sam Howell, who's not at a Notre Dame level, but consistency is what matters. Do we have a consistent guy yet? We don't know, but I think the more mature guy will make for a better starter, especially for that first game.
See, let me clarify too. I want to make sure I'm bringing clarity to what I just said. What I said was a response to Donnie Cruz. It was not me saying that I don't like Tyler Buchner and I want Drew Pyne, because I know how everybody gets. They'll run to another board and put on the board that
so they're gonna go to the other board.
Lefty Podcast that he wants Tyler Buchner to sit on the bench because of this and because of that, and Drew Pyne should be the starter. When I didn't say any of that,
you didn't say that.
I merely responded to what I got Donnie Cruz said, and that's it. So I want to be clear. Don't try to put words in my mouth. Don't run to another board, another show. Because no, I have a dog in this fight, and it's the quarterback that's not going to turn the ball over. That's the dog in the fight. Whatever quarterback is not going to turn the ball over and can consistently run the offense and complete third down passes for 35, 36, and keep the chains moving as we run behind the offensive line, I'm all for it. Yeah. Hopefully both can do it because injuries take place. Hopefully both
will take place. Yeah, I think we'll see both of them in there throughout the year. I just hope that seeing them both throughout the year is not because one is just doing so bad that we had to throw the other one in there. Let it be, they both play because we're blowing the other team out or something.
So, Lucky Lefty Podcast, we're just talking about the spring, man. And Tommy Rees and the two quarterbacks meeting with the media over the weekend. We have a lot more to get to. I told Malik what was coming. I told Malik that the Malice Part 2 was coming. And I have more evidence this weekend of why it's on the way. Then we have to get to, that's part of the show, right? Petty Junction. We'll talk about that. And then we'll get to, who's the best quarterback in the AFC North, bro? We're going to get to that. You got to be real. No, don't run from this one. Because I know your allegiance.
I know who's last, and that's Michigan. I say it on that one right now. Michigan last. They should put insert a slot and then put him at fifth. So then it'd be the blank space in fifth.
Yeah, I see our girl D Beezy finally got into the chat. D Beezy, I'm in the bin Thursday night. We grubbing. LL Nation. I'm in the bin about 6. Give me a chance to get settled. We're going out. And we're going to break bread together. So whoever wants to meet up with me in the bin, let me know. Hit me up in the chat, email us, or hit me in the DM on Instagram or on Twitter, and we'll make the plans. I can't wait to get with LL Nation and experience certain things. Now, see, this is funny. I just saw this, so let me just go ahead. Matter of fact, we just threw up a hot board over at Irish Breakdown with the remaining wide receivers in the 2023 class. Sid Irish says, if Carnell's mama wants dollars, Indy has no shot.
We done been through this route.
Once again, we went through it. Hey, bro.
We been through this route before.
Hey, bro. In 2000, your significant other, you're sitting back there right around the piano on that
Right
couch,
around
around the piano in 2039.
Mm-hmm.
And you all are making a decision, right?
Okay.
Are you telling me money's not going to be a factor the way NIL is going to evolve?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a factory.
Okay. Are you a bad parent?
No.
Because
A smart parent. Just a smart parent.
Is his mom going to be a bad parent because of that?
No.
So
be a great parent.
Does that mean you want money, or does that mean you're looking out for your kid?
Yeah, you taking the best things on the table.
Because most people feel like he should already sign his offer sheet to Notre Dame right now.
Yes.
It should be signed right now.
I think so. I think that's more on the coaches not sealing the deal.
Okay. I'm just saying.
I agree.
I wrote a great article. It's a fantastic article. Notre Dame can only blame themselves for being in this position. And the fact that the SEC schools could come in late and make a presentation is because Notre Dame was lazy under the previous regime. Period. It's the same reason we just explained that Notre Dame receivers have kind of had an eye-opening experience with Chancey Stuckey watching film. Huh? Watch film. We do that together with the coaches at Notre Dame? The wide receiver coach is about to watch film with us? You don't say.
You don't say.
You don't say. Things are changing at Montgomery Ward. That's the old commercial. Like, really? Hey, man, look. Shout out to Stuck, though. Shout out to Stuck. From all I can gather, he's doing a tremendous job. Tremendous job with the current roster, with the class of 2023 and the class of 2024 from the kids that I talked to him last week after the pot of gold went out on the 17th.
That's right.
Let's see. Corey D. Hey, I totally agree.
They're talking about they ain't got no talent. Chancey Stuckey doesn't think so.
Man, that cat flat out said, man, we got role players, man.
Role players? Damn. I thought he was talking about musical theater, man.
Dude, what does that say about your recruiting, bro?
No, he was saying that he couldn't recruit the kids wouldn't come or something like that. He had a whole excuse field plan on why.
Man, look. All I know is that Irish Players Club is lit. I think they're sold out. They're going to be releasing some more stuff. I know they have something for the Legacy Weekend that they're building too. Look, Notre Dame is like, look, if you don't want the athletic director, if you don't want all of the alumni all up in your business, dancing all through your video,
that's right.
come to Notre Dame. The players run their own NIL. That should be the pitch. That should be the pitch. Like, what if watching our ND on YouTube did that with Big Suge on stage?
Seriously, that's what we got to do.
You don't want the coaches, the boosters, the alumni, all up in your video.
All up in your video. Money. Yeah.
You don't want the state of Georgia taking 20% off the top.
Yeah, because you're dealing with big taxes because you're a six-figure earner now.
If you don't want that 14% state tax in California,
yeah,
come to Notre Dame.
Come to Notre Dame.
Come to Notre Dame. That's all. We just got a Big Sugar. We got to flip it and Big Sugar, man.
We got to MF it. We got to MF it. Marcus Freeman it.
Yo. So I asked this question. Oh, before we get to that recruiting news, big recruiting weekend, tons of wide receivers came through. We know Carnell Tate came through early last week. Carnell Tate today has been interacting. Matter of fact, Notre Dame fans, LL Nation, go interact with Carnell Tate. He's asking you to follow him on Instagram today. Follow him, show him the love. He posted a picture from his trip with him and his mom back to back. Retweet it. Let them feel the love. The kid loves Notre Dame. Let me reiterate. The kid loves Notre Dame. Shower the young man with love. Let his mom know that this is where he needs to be in South Bend. Let's make it happen. You want to make a difference? Here's your opportunity. Show him the love. Shout out to Nico Iamaleava on his commitment to Tennessee. Most say the second best quarterback in the class. Kudos to him. I hope that NIL deal is sweet.
It's a good spot for him. Changed up the SEC a little bit.
Shocked me a little bit.
It's a good program and it's relevant when the right people are there.
Shocked me a little bit because I thought Mario Cristobal really needed that one recruit to really get things going in Miami. And I really thought Miami just kind of fit. I just thought it kind of fit Nico. But shout out to Josh Heupel and the job that the Volunteers are doing. They got their guy.
They got their guy.
They got their guy. Who's the best quarterback in the AFC North, my dude? Don't run from it. Don't run from it. Don't you run. Don't you run. Don't you run from it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Answer the question. Who is the best quarterback in the AFC North?
You got 3 of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, man.
In one division.
All this intro stuff, we do. All this intro stuff you doing. Yo, who's the best quarterback in the AFC North, my dude?
I gotta go Deshaun. But 1A is definitely Joey B.
Shout out to Lyle Collins.
That's right. That's a great pickup. That's what they needed.
The offensive line. They lost OB on the defensive line in free agency. So we'll see how that defensive
line. Why they gonna get some freaking Aiden Hutchinson or something? You know, they get Aiden Hutchinson. I got Lamar as my number 2 because that's a waste of a pick. I agree.
Look, for people that say Joe Burrow, I wouldn't be mad at that. And people that say Deshaun hasn't played, but Joe Burrow had a really good year, great year.
Really, really, really.
And the year he had pales in comparison to the year Deshaun Watson had the last time he was on the field.
Yeah, he was going crazy.
So, but yo, Mitch Trubisky's in the AFC North, fam.
I got Dwayne Haskins starting. I hope. Or Mason Rudolph, one of them.
Not Mason Rudolph. Come on, man.
They've been wanting Mason to start so bad. They kept forcing Ben to keep playing till they
develop Mason. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Look here, man. I am super excited about seeing a guy get on the field. Eventually, he may end up having to sit because now that everything's been settled from a criminal standpoint, the NFL might go ahead and say, okay, 3-game suspension, 4-game suspension, whatever.
But $230 million guaranteed, you doing something.
Woo-wee! Look here, man. I thought he was headed to the ATL, and I was like, oh, that's a perfect fit.
Oh, that's a great fit.
Beautiful fit.
Great fit.
In Georgia, probably have a lot of say-so, kind of a mini rebuild.
You're a little mayor of Georgia right there.
Yeah, man. They had all the players. Trey Young was calling them. They had Quavo calling them. You know?
Damn.
Came with that guaranteed 230, and it was like, you know what?
I like it. I like it in Cleveland.
It's hard to beat that guarantee. And see, the Cleveland move is the short-term move. That's the best beat. Hey, look. The only team in the AFC Central that Joe B hasn't beaten is the Cleveland Browns, bro.
Yeah.
That's the only team he's yet to beat in the division.
Deshaun gonna make it hard, man. And whoever gets out of the AFC period to the Super Bowl, you done did some things.
Yeah.
You done did some things. You done went through Pat Mahomes.
Now, which is tougher? AFC North, AFC West.
AFC North.
Ooh, you think so?
Oh yeah.
You got Pat, Herbert, Russ.
I'm taking Deshaun over Russell Wilson.
Okay, and you got
Pat is obviously Pat
over Herbert.
You said who?
I was just teasing with you.
Yeah.
Did you all just see how his face totally changed? Like that, like you said, what? That's how the dude was ice grilling me at the other spot. That's how the way you just ice grilled me. Sophia Herbert. That's the same way dude was ice grilling me. Dude.
Yeah.
Chad Brown said you capping on the Russ tip, bro.
On the Russ tip.
Yeah.
I'm taking Deshaun Watson. I'm taking Deshaun Watson over Russell Wilson any day of the week. Just because of where we are right now. Yeah. If they were both the same age when they both start, what if. But right now, that AFC North is tough now.
Mike said you dissing the quarterbacks in the AFC West, man.
First of all,
I forgot about Carr.
Yeah, you forgot about it because he wasn't. Yeah, that wasn't nothing to remember.
Yeah, but
they were just trying to let go of Carr a couple years ago.
He's gonna look a lot better with 17, though.
He is.
He's gonna look a whole lot better with 17.
I agree with that, but he's not better than the MVP and Lamar Jackson. Definitely not better than D-Watt. And then Joey B on the come up. Like seriously, you're taking those.
Don't forget Trubisky.
Who? Haskins? Yeah, I'm putting. Okay, so Herbert, Wilson, and Carr.
Disrespectful, man.
Herbert, Wilson, and Carr, or Watson, Jackson, and Burrow. AFC North by far.
That's an interesting debate, man. I can't wait to see it play out.
Debate. Who, if you had to start your team outside of Mahomes, give me your three from both. If both divisions, all six quarterbacks were on the draft board. Mahomes was first one taken. Who are the other three you taking?
Two of the first three would probably come from the AFC North.
Okay.
If I had all six of them on the board.
Okay, two of them out of the top.
Yeah. The Mahomes would be the only one from the AFC West I would take in the top three.
Top three.
D-Wad, Joe.
Even you get to four. Even if you get to four, I'm still taking AFC.
Four probably would be.
Who though? But who?
I probably would take Russ 4.
Over who?
What you mean over who?
Over Joey B? Slightly. Okay. Slightly.
Yeah, bro. I understand we're ecstatic over what Joe B just did, but he's got a stack.
Yeah, he's going for sure.
Same thing a singer would do in the studio. Stack them vocals, dude. You gotta stack them years, bro.
I agree with that.
You gotta stack it.
He's hot right now. So okay, I'll give you Russ's 4. I'll give you Russ's 4.
He is.
But Joey B is 4B. He right there. I think Herbert's got a stack. Shit. Herbert ain't doing nothing.
He's had 2 good years. What do you mean he's got a stack?
Come on, man. He ain't been
more years stacked than
has he been an MVP?
Here we go.
Okay. Has Carr been an MVP anytime? He was close.
What do you think about Pat getting Juju? Juju on that beat.
And Pat, as long as he got number 10.
You realize Juju is going to have single coverage all year, bro.
He had single coverage in Pittsburgh.
If Juju can't put up at least 60 catches,
I just don't think he has the speed.
He doesn't need the speed. You know, all these
as a number one.
No. He ain't. First of all, Tyreek Hill is the number one. Don't get it twisted. No, please.
I thought you were talking about the Steelers. I thought you were talking about the Steelers.
No. He signed with the Chiefs.
No, I know. I'm just saying he didn't have the speed. That's why when he was the number one at the Steelers,
yeah. I agree with that.
He wasn't getting busy. He didn't have
yeah. See, he gets the same talk that the Notre Dame quarterbacks get.
Yeah.
Right? After Kelsey and Tariq get theirs, we'll find you.
Yeah, for sure.
You're going to be on the third cornerback anyway.
Yeah.
So if you can't beat the third cornerback consistently this year, it might be a wrap for you, my brother. It might be a wrap for you.
You might to go to full-time TikTok, man.
That's man. Will Chesnick said you forgot Carr because there's nothing to remember.
That's what I said. Yeah, absolutely not.
Lucky Lefty Podcast. Yo, so I want to give some thanks before we get to a part of the show. Can I do that?
Okay.
I want to give some thanks. I like to thank LL Nation for we had to celebrate on Friday night in style. Thank you to the Notre Dame fans and LL Nation for the support. Thank you for getting us to 2,000 as far as subscriptions since August. It's a huge feat. We're humble and we're very appreciative, and we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you to my guy, Said Nolan, who showed us a great time Friday and helping us celebrate. Thank you to my boy, Malik Zaire, who welcomed me in. Man, brought me my first Onora bottle, gave me a beautiful gift. I appreciate it. Thank you to all the recruits that have made my transition into dealing with you guys pleasurable. Thank you for the relationships that have been built, particularly ones like my guy from Chicago, Carnell Tate. I appreciate you. Thank you to your moms, sweet lady, repping the dub. And we're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep grinding. We're going to keep building. Lucky Lefty Podcast Network is going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to give you great content. And we'll never report that Tommy Rees is in Miami doing an interview. All right, let's move on. Yep. That's about all I got to say. That's about all I got to say. I'll leave it at that. You know, I had to do it. If I was going to do something and say something, I had to do it the way I did.
You did the best way possible.
Petticoat. Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty history? Petty Junction.
Yep. Petticoat Junction. And I did that because you can just throw me on the petty train, bro. You got them, man. Everybody's like, hey, yo, throw me on petty train, man. I don't care. Brought to you by Onora Whiskey. OnoraWhiskey.com. It's that premium American whiskey at OnoraWhiskey.com. That's all I'm saying. You know, I might get information straight from the horse's mouth that doesn't pan out. Instead of, 2 days, recruit might decide to stay 1 day, but I'll never report that somebody is in Miami interviewing for a job. You can guarantee that.
That's right.
I'll never do that. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Let's talk about it. Petty Junction, pettiest stories of the day. Your boy Rick Ross. Rick Ross is into a lot of things. We went to the wings.
Wingstop.
Eyes.
Yep, got his drink belly.
Music. Palatial Estate, Coming to America too. He's into a lot. But one thing he needs to shut his mouth about is boxing. Here's Rick Ross talking about boxers doing too much. What the lawyers do?
They make them noises just to put fear in the opponent's heart. All that breathing shit. They want you to think they punching so fast, like Bruce Lee. That ain't nothing. That's a nigga making that noise with his mouth. And if you fall for it, that's you. I'ma eat it.
Yo, this might be my favorite. This might be my favorite Petty story, dude. Man.
I'm gonna eat it.
That cat the boss.
Oh, man, you talking about he in it. He into it. He said, don't fall for it though. Don't fall for the screaming.
First, he wants to disrespect the boxers in the ring that make noise, talking about they really not punching fast. They just saying that to make. Look, man, let me tell you something, bro. If you've ever sparred with anybody that's decent in boxing, the punches come pretty fast. Like, please don't listen to Rick Ross.
Mm-mm.
I don't know who he's sparring with, but they must not be good for him to disrespect the speed of professional boxers.
He's probably boxing the dude behind him.
He probably was in the coat with the boots on, right? Come on, man. Like, what are you doing? So next up, Scottie Barnes on the Petty train. The question was funny for Scottie Barnes, man. He had just got done playing a tough game against the Lakers in Toronto. And look.
Oh, he was like.
So here's your boy Scottie Barnes, rookie for Toronto.
Hey, Scottie, before you came into the league, did you have a poster of LeBron in your room? Like, what did he mean to you, as a kid?
Say that again?
What did LeBron mean to you as a kid before you got into the league?
I was really a big Kobe fan. Really. So it was really like rivals and stuff like that. But of course, LeBron done so much for this game. Of course, a Hall of Famer, someone that's just so influential on this game that just paves the way for so many people. Being big, athletic, like my size, being able to drill the ball, do multiple different things on the floor. So of course, he was influential for a lot of young kids like me.
That was a nice recovery by Scottie Barnes.
Nice recovery.
Nice recovery at the end.
Because he for sure didn't have much to say.
The beginning is hilarious, bro. Like, say that again?
Yeah. Who?
Like, man, I ain't had no poster of LeBron in my room as a shorty. Like, what are you talking about? And he finally got the question. It's like, man, I'm a Kobe dude. Like, man,
not only that, he was like, I'm really a Kobe fan.
I'm really a Kobe dude.
And they rivals, so I'm really not even messing with Bron at that point, for real. I got respect for the guy, but I ain't no Bron fan now. You tripping.
Dude. It was classic, man. It was just so open. He's still a kid.
Was real pure.
They say kids say the darndest things. And
it was definitely like a locker room type of response. Like, what you think about Bron? You're like, Bron, man, I ain't messing with I'm a Kobe fan,
And then he recovered for the PC answer, a guy like me, big, that can dribble, like watching
a lot
him.
of respect. He's been doing the things for the game. He got to recover when he hit him with he's done a lot for his game,
Right.
Definitely.
So, look, man, your boy Russell Westbrook, man. So he had – wait a minute, because I think I have –
the clip where he bricked it and then stole it and made it?
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm saying that was petty.
I think I have both videos, dude. Let me make sure. Let me attempt to see if I have both, because I know I have this one, which is hilarious, dude, because I told you – let me preface this by telling you that I told you what was going to happen, bro. I told you what was going to happen. I told you that these fans talk crazy. It's going to get worse, and eventually we're going to have a part 2 of the Malice. I told you it was coming. I told you it was coming. And don't be shocked when it happens. So, I don't think, do I have the other one? Yes. Yes, I do. So both of these clips of Russell Westbrook, and I want to mention what happened with Jusuf Nurkic last night in Indiana. It's coming, bro. I keep telling you. If the NBA does not check these fans, it's coming. So the first one is Russell Westbrook in Washington before the game, shoot around. Watch what happens.
Westbrook, I'm a biggest fan. Westbrook. I say I'm a biggest fan. Westbrook.
What you call me?
Westbrook.
What?
Russell Westbrook.
He's your biggest fan.
No. I didn't mean it like that. Okay, I didn't do it like that.
What I tell you, if you won't say it to their face, don't say it. As a fan, Russ got close and he folded. Security was right there. You might as well keep the same energy.
You might as well say it now.
You might as well say it. He folded, fam. You see how fast he folded? Westbrook. Russell Westbrook. That's my rule as an NBA fan. Like, yo, if you are not boss enough to say it in their face, just don't say it at all, man. Just don't do it. Don't do it. So the next time they go to Toronto to face the Raptors, they get in town. Westbrook is out on the town.
Like that, Russell, you good? No, you good. I ain't no little kid. I know you're not a little kid. I ain't no little kid. All right, Russell. Yo, stop playing some shit. That's all I'm saying. You're good. You're nice. Russell, you're nice. You're not a little kid, Russell. I know. You're Russell, I fuck with you. I just want you to play better. I bet on you every night. Come on, man. I bet on you. You're good. Yo, let's cut. Take it easy, Russell. You're Russell. You're a goof.
See what I'm saying? You all apologetic in his face, and then he gets in the car, you walking away. You a goof. You a clown.
Yeah.
You a clown. You a chump, man. This is what I'm talking about. It's going to happen, bro. I'm telling you. Last night, Jusuf Nurkic walks over, snatches the phone from the fan in the front row that's heckling him crazy.
Do it.
And throws it. Walks up on the kid, and the kid says, "What you gonna do?" He's looking for the lawsuit. The kid is literally looking for the lawsuit. Dude, the NBA, I'm telling you, bro, I see it coming, and I keep trying. Look, it's coming, bro, because they don't check these fans, and they don't let them know. Like, yo, y'all need to chill out. Security's right there. They hear this crazy stuff. These are little kids talking crazy. These aren't grown men. These little kids have gotten bold. Come on, man. We have to do a better job. Because there's only so much that these athletes are going to take. I'm telling you. It's coming. Jurgens took the man's phone and just straight threw it. Hey, bro. I'm telling you. Shout out to Randy Gregory, too. I got to throw you on the petty train, man. If you to just say F the Cowboys to tell Jerry Jones you were signing with the Cowboys, then sign with the Denver Broncos, and basically tell Cowboy Nation and Jerry Jones, man, F y'all.
And that weed's a hell of a drug, man.
No. You stupid.
Just got you wilding out here.
Man.
Because it's petty because it's unnecessary. You know,
addiction seems to be a Cornhusker thing, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of addictions you can trace back to Lincoln, Nebraska, bro.
That's right.
I'm just saying.
They gotta get some more some town activities going on, man. People be too bored, caught up in the house all day.
Will Chesnick said, "Did I misinterpret the Tommy thing? Was you joking or making light of the situation a month ago?" A follow-up interview with Miami is extremely sketchy. No, I'm just saying that, you'll never see me report something that didn't actually happen. That's all. I just want to make sure everybody knows that. I don't report things that never happened as they did. That's all I'm saying. I'll never do that. I might get a scoop before everybody else and say a player is going to be in town for a visit and say that the initial plan was for multiple days and things change. That's not on me. And when you try to throw darts at me, I just want to make it clear that I'll never report something as happening that never happened. That's all. Throw me on the petty train. We'll be back tomorrow, guys. Same time, with more time to talk about your question. Oh, I want to get to the super chat. I'm sorry. I got Truman Dumel. We thank you for the super chat. I forgot to get to it. I definitely don't want to overlook it. Yeah, I'm just being petty. Will, just Shaun being petty. Chad Brown, thank you for the super chat. Y'all ever in the 260? I'm not sure. Yes, he did, Colin. I'm telling you, Stuckey has been an all-star since he's gotten to Notre Dame. An all-star with the players and the parents of these recruits. Great man. Looks like Tommy Rees was right and who he wanted to be the wide receiver coach. Kudos him. There's the super chat. Shout out to I got Truman Dumel. We appreciate you. Let's see. Tool Worker, what's good? Haven't seen you in a while. And once again, guys, if you guys have an idea for a show, sports related, betting related, you want to be a part of Lucky Lefty Nation and Lucky Lefty Podcast Network, email us. Hit us up. Let us know. Shoot us your idea. We'll set up a time to take your pitch, and you might be on the Lucky Lefty Podcast Network before you know it. We appreciate you guys. We're expanding, and we look forward to possibly having one of you guys be a part of that. I actually have my best friend from childhood lives in Fort Wayne, and I have not been down there since I think it was 16 when her mom passed away, and I came down for the services. So I haven't been to 260 for about 6 years. Yo, Antoine, I spent the spot I stayed in was officially in Inglewood, but it was literally like 3 blocks from Hawthorne. And yo, you're right. Hawthorne hits different. It hits different out there. So, from my boy Malik Zaire, as always, brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. Premium American Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. For Malik, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Another episode of the Lucky Lefty Podcast.